Hello everybody, welcome on in. I'm OHRye, back with some more Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and of course we're playing more. Heavy Duty Expansion just came out, the new paid DLC, along with the new Endless mode. Again, a shout out here, if you have not subscribed to the channel and you enjoy this content, now's the time to do it. We're going to be doing a ton of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor content in the next month or so as we sort of run through all the powerful builds through Endless mode. We do all the masteries and stuff like that. Been doing a bunch of live streams. I might seem a little like out of, my voice is almost gone. I did like a 5-hour stream earlier and that already that already killed my voice. So been doing a lot, absolute lot of recording for this game. But today we're gonna jump into kind of one of the big boy builds here. We're gonna run the sharpshooter, which, you know, is obviously one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and we're gonna see what we can do now with this weapon on Hazard 5. Should be pretty powerful. You know, my new record right now, we did it on the live stream, I hit like level 19, but then, like many people have commented it on the videos, the game crashed. There have been some issues with this game. Hopefully they can resolve those, you know, kind of ASAP. We did a live stream the other day, and again, incredible stream. So many people showed up. So if you were one of those people that showed up to the stream, thank you so much. It was a ton of fun. It was easily probably my biggest stream ever. We averaged like 240 people for the stream, which is crazy numbers for me. You know, I usually average like 30, and the other day we put up monster numbers. So it was an amazing stream. So thanks again for everybody that showed up and made that possible. It was a ton of fun. But we did do a couple runs, and the game crashed on us at wave 19. It just kind of bailed on us. I couldn't jump back into it either through the save feature. You know how you can kind of join and abandon, you can join a run that crashed, or if you quit or something. So it didn't even let me rejoin that. The game just kind of hard locked me out of it, and it sucked because it was a pretty good run. And then we tried to do an explosive build, and wow, the frame rate drops a ton. Here, let me do something, because we did turn the visibility stuff down a bit to try to fix that. So let's turn some of it back on. But we were doing an explosive build, and the game couldn't handle it. Even two floors in, the game started dropping frames. Okay, we're looking for the cryo grenade. I have found that CC is really important in these runs. CC and probably a decent amount of HP. Just kind of my early inclinations here. CC is really, I mean, CC was pretty good before, but not necessarily need it. Now it feels like you need it. Okay, this is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with the coupon, believe it or not, because this has way more value now that it's Endless mode. So as much as I love a freaking gold scanner, I think the coupon's the way to go here. Floor 1. Let's go reload. That's a really tough decision. That might not have been a pick I did before. You know, I probably would have picked the gold scanner on a normal 10-stage dive, but since your scanners can break, you know, again, I've mentioned this in plenty of videos where your scanners break. A lot of people didn't really realize that. Oh, I don't have the scanner, but now it shows you how many resources you can get with the scanner. So when you go over scanner, it'll show like, okay, you can get 1,500 gold with this scanner. That's the max amount of gold you can get from it, and then it's no good anymore. It doesn't work. So it's now a broken scanner. So that's kind of what I mean whenever I would say that. We could do the bug taser. I'm cool with the bug taser because that gives us a lot of crit buffs. Then we'll definitely do that legendary crit. This is going to be heavy on crit. We're going to try to get a lot of crit. We're going to try to get a lot of crit damage. These are the worst 2 upgrades to get. So let's take the fire, because we're not going to turn it to fire. Let's get more HP. we really want to get the most important one to get is going to be the 100% clip size. That's the most important one to get. We have to see that one because that's how we're going to do monster damage. The other one, if you don't get it, you know, it's okay, but it's not monster damage. So we want to see the 100% clip size. If we see that, I'm fine with it. But if we wanted god tier rolls on this weapon, we would get the extra damage.
I'm a better dwarf than yesterday. Die, monsters! Die, monsters!
Go pick up radius, potency. Okay, so for the last weapon, I was gonna say plasma carbine.
Plasma carbine, please.
Plasma carbine's it for kind of that extra damage too.
This one.
That'll give us good burst damage.
Bloody hell, you're hot to kill. I'm gonna kill you all. Woo, baby. This upgrade's gonna change my life.
We're not gonna do the status effect stuff. Let's go armor there. Let's go damage.
Legendary.
Gotta move it, miner. The bugs are gunning for you.
You got a loot bug.
But I really hope they can fix some of the issues because the explosive stuff is a huge bummer because that's one of the top builds I want to do.
Get on it.
You know, the M-1000 was kind of the first one, and then the explosive stuff with the high explosive grenade, you know, that was kind of the next thing I wanted to do. So fortunately, we can't really do that right now until they fix the game. So that is a huge bummer. There were a lot of people in the comment sections that were talking about, you know, frame rate drops and all of that. And it seems to be certain builds too. There is some sort of weird audio glitching too, which you might actually hear in this video. I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear it, but it's kind of like a synthetic, like, I don't know, robot glitchy sounds. Man, we are getting really good crit.
Nope. Try again.
Okay, we'll do reload. We can do range. We'll do sidearm here.
This one almost makes it too easy. Gonna roll the dice on this.
Okay, we're gonna mark a bunch of these.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
So one of the things we're gonna try to do here is I want to get pickled nitra. I want to get pickled nitra this run. I want to get crit powder, and I want to try to sort of stack as much nitra as we can while keeping up with our movement speed. You know, we did a build not too long ago where we did that. We ended up getting like 3,000% damage, and I still had pretty good movement speed. You can totally do that here still. Again, in our online stream, I think we ended up hitting 5k damage. So like on our damage modifier over there on the left hand side, we ended up hitting 5,000 damage because I was able to take pickled nitra, but I was still able to get really good movement speed. And again, part of my gear is because of that. So with this piece right here, we get a lot of movement speed, 10% movement speed, but then we also get movement speed whenever we upgrade armor. And then a bunch of my other gear sort of has it too, like this has movement speed, so we get quite a few movement speed buffs here. But we're constantly scaling our movement speed every time I take armor. And I'm taking armor a lot because one, armor's a pretty good stat to have now. And then two, oh my god, these new map layouts are crazy. This is new. They made some of these in almost a bad kind of way. There was a peninsula on my stream too that was really difficult to manage. This is one of those. This might be the hardest one I've seen. And my supply drop is in there. Shit. That's gonna be super tough. Because did you see how hard that was to get in there? There was one entrance there. There wasn't a way around that. There's one entrance in there, and it's the smallest, tiniest gap. And then we're stuck in there, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a way out. See, these are new. These are new layouts. This type of peninsula was never in the game before. This is the hardest thing I've ever seen in terms of a peninsula here. I literally have one little area to escape. They 100% made some sort of new randomized map layouts. I don't know how they do them, but this is 100% new. Okay, we're definitely taking that. Okay, so what do we do here now, though? We take the HP. We gotta kind of wait until we get like a good cryo. Like I could kind of maybe try to bring them in a little bit too and then work my way out of this. I think I'm pretty sure I have enough health where I can just kind of like run through this too. All right, we're just gonna run through now. You see, those types of things, they were not in there before. This, that's 100% a new type of peninsula, like a new map layout. Whatever they did, there's been multiple of those. That's not the first time I've seen an incredibly hard one to deal with. That one was super tough though. If that was later in the game, I probably wouldn't have tried to get that. I probably would have just let it be. And luckily we had, you know, that was one of the things where, you know, we probably needed this cryo grenade to get out of that. Although I guess we did kind of kill the majority of the enemies, but the cryo grenade definitely helped kind of keep them at bay. Okay, well, I'm glad we got the crit goggles. We have really good crit chance already. We're at 136, 480 crit damage. That's super good. We've been seeing a lot of crit stuff.
Get it done, Miner. The bugs are furious.
At this point, I was gonna restart the video if I didn't get the 100% clip size, but I think we'll just roll with it. Ooh, that's an interesting place for you to get stuck. Just because I have really good, I'm really happy with the stuff we've gotten so far. I like that we got the crit goggles. I like that we got all our weapons and I didn't really have to spend too much. And then we did get the coupon, and I've been getting a lot of crit chance and crit damage upgrades. So I was gonna restart the video, but at this point I think I'm okay with it. We'll just run it back. You know, if I feel like this didn't end up being to my satisfaction, we'll just totally run it back. All right, let's do, you know, I'm just gonna take it. No, we didn't get a crate. Let's go projectile damage. So if the game, you know, there is a chance the game may crash. That's a real possibility. I hope it doesn't, especially if we have a super good build going, but that's just kind of the reality here. So if it crashes, it crashes. I'll try to jump back into it, but I don't know. I just hope they can patch it soonish. And I mean like soonish, you know, by this weekend. Okay, we're gonna buy the movement speed. We'll buy that. We'll buy the damage. We could do... Okay, we'll do the clip size on this. We're not gonna do burn because I don't really want to build status effect damage, so... Okay, we'll buy the crit. We'll buy the reload. I'll mark that. We'll do... Oh, can't even do another reroll. All right.
Load up and get going, Miner. We have quotas to fulfill.
But overall, good start. I like these two items in the very beginning because I did want to make sure that we got the crit goggles. I want to make sure that we get the crit powder. And then again, I'm going to be really looking for the pickle nitra. Nitra scanners would be probably pretty good too then. Do I have... No, we have... Dang, we haven't even gotten this to level 6 yet to see if we even get TNT.
Got a blocked landing site for the supply pod. Get it cleared out,
I'm a
miner.
new dwarf.
Oh, is this? Hold up. No, that's not a crazy. I was about to say, is that another crazy peninsula? But this one actually connects. I really, from what I have played though, this is only like my 4th endless run. I haven't really done a lot yet. We did 2 on stream. We did the video yesterday. Now I'm doing a video today. But I really enjoyed this endless mode update. I think endless mode is a ton of fun. I think once you get to kind of floor 15, you know, you start seeing this new difficulty in this game that you haven't seen in a long time. And I think that makes the game a lot of fun, you know, because now you're back to these really good oh shit moments, trying to make a big escape, or you're just being flooded with enemies, and you know, maybe you have a monster build and you're killing them all and it feels really good. It's a lot of fun. I really like this endless update. They just need to fix it. Just fix whatever issues they're having. I'm gonna do the potency because I want to get this leveled up. I want to get some of these overclocks. I do want the movement speed though. I still want to try to get kind of almost as much movement speed as I can. Even the early game I think is a lot harder. I was gonna say, did we get our supply drop yet? We didn't. Sometimes I get too focused on talking about stuff. Okay, so ideally, you know, we get the powder. Oh shit, okay. I'm gonna go with pay to win. We're gonna go pay to win there. Those were good options, but at this point, I don't really... I'm torn about the energy bars. I know we have a lot of HP, but since pay to win showed up right there with it, I'll just go pay to win. That doesn't give us any sort of negative debuff.
Feels rare. Feels right. Follow this. That's all you got, you slippery shit.
Man, we're pretty behind on this M-1000.
You ugly son of a bitch.
It's only level 10. Definitely need to get this higher.
Can't hang around forever, miner.
Usually in the 10 stage dives, I wouldn't be so... I usually don't care too much about getting it to level 18 until, you know, kind of the end. You know, it wasn't really that big of a deal. Because you still needed to build up the reload speed and things like that, so I wasn't really in a rush, but I think I am in a rush now because the game difficulty does sort of scale up a little bit quicker here. And I really do hope that we can get that 100% clip size. I hope we can, but if not, you know, that means we'll just do it again. That's really what it means. We'll come back and we'll do it again in a couple weeks. Or maybe we'll try to do it on a live stream. All right, where's this enemy at? I need to make sure I'm hitting this guy. So he's kind of getting too far out of our range and we're just not hitting him.
The bugs are gunning for you.
Let's show them some pain.
All right, fine.
Have that legendary.
Yes, okay, we got the 100% clip size.
This one almost makes it too easy.
The fire rate, I don't care for the fire rate on this weapon because once we get it to thick boy, there is no fire rate anymore.
Ready? Get on it before it leaves.
Still haven't read patch notes either, but I do think they buffed and changed some artifacts. I wish I could comment on it, but I've been honestly, I've been really slammed with just trying to bust out content for this game. Spell Brigade, Grind Survivors literally just got an update too. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how much. And then oh my gosh. You guys don't even know how hard it is to like for me to keep up with all this. I can't keep up with it. That's literally the problem. All right, we could do the range, fire rate.
Let's shake it up.
damage for sure.
Perfect dwarf.
Let's do that
Can't
one.
get enough of this one. I want another go.
Dang. Okay, we're gonna mark both of these. I'm gonna buy the reload,
Hey, not too
the
shabby.
damage. Let's do the reload kinetic.
Kill.
Your mission is clear. Get to it.
But I haven't had time. I haven't had time to read the patch notes for this yet.
Danger and darkness. Here we go.
We do want to try to get TNT on these grenades too. If not, it's not the biggest deal in the world,
You're dead.
but I would like it.
Yes.
Big swoon detected. Buggerman, get ready.
I'm just gonna go with that reload, so that way we get the weapon level up. This is another pretty tough one.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
See, the amount of enemy spawns right now is really. I'm gonna run through that and hope, yeah, that worked out. I was hoping those guys wouldn't explode. Sometimes you never know what you're gonna get with a frozen exploder.
Dwarf, don't die.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in a record time. We got too much clutter for the supply pod to land.
All right, that's not a really good one. We'll do a small little loop and then we'll go get that. Well, I guess we gotta get all these resources.
Die, creep. You're in hell.
Okay, let's go get that supply drop.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Oh, interesting. Because we took this, it gave us the explosive tag. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that. Sometimes it's okay, but I guess if that's gonna make the explosive better for the reload. But also I noticed too, if you take the cold upgrade on this now, it doesn't turn the weapon to cold anymore, but it does give you the cold tag. So now if you have two cold weapons, you'll get cold damage, which is kind of interesting because you're still technically doing plasma damage with that weapon. It doesn't change it to a cold type weapon. So I'm interested to see how that kind of works.
Die, monster.
Okay, we can do gold tip bullets. What's nice is we haven't had to use a reroll yet.
Gimme. That will teach you. You fuck that. I'm gonna kill you all.
See, but now we're gonna start getting all these explosion upgrades. That's kind of good and bad. I don't really care too much about the explosion upgrades, so that's why it's bad, because I didn't really plan on doing anything with those. I just kind of wanted the cryo grenade for a little bit of CC, why I focused mainly on just buffing up my M-1000.
I'm not scared of you. Here, have a bullet in the face. I'll take it.
But that is something you need to think about now.
This one's for Carl. I'm raring to try this out.
Our damage is at 210. We have 154 crit chance, 523 crit damage.
Getting worse down there. We'll arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you.
Bingo! I'm clocking it to 11.
See, so if I were to take that burn damage, it would give me a fire tag.
Oh, I got it!
Gotta move on, Miner. The drop pod will head out momentarily.
I
Go
can't
armor.
give enough of this rare
Stage
stuff.
completed. As many as you can endure coming up.
Okay, we'll buy both of these. We'll buy that. We'll buy the damage.
Roll the dice on this one.
I'm just gonna buy this one, and then we'll do. I guess we're gonna only have one reroll. Shit.
This works.
I don't want to buy these though, because I don't want to. I do want to get it to 18, but I don't like doing the paint jobs. I'd rather.
This is a simple mining mission.
I'd rather get it there with actual level ups, because of the 100% clip size, we're gonna have really bad reload time. So that's why it's you kind of want to make sure you're getting a lot of reload, especially on your weapon level ups. If not, you could be looking at like a 4 or 5 second reload time.
Kill the loot bug, and I'm not so proud about it. Loot bug hot. Shoot to kill.
Supply pod active. Locate the LZ.
Is that right on top of an egg?
That's all you got, you slippery shit. Loot bug hot. I'm not scared of you. Try to look pilot straight.
Got a supply pod launch. Stand clear of the impact zone.
There it is. Let's go. we're getting all the items we wanted to get.
Every day.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. We got the coupon right away. We got our crit goggles. Now we got our crit powder. We have our 2 gold damage items. Ooh boy. We're looking good already. Now I just need to see that pickled nitra. I could use a little bit more movement speed, but once we get that pickled nitra, we're gonna have some bonkers damage right now. It's gonna be crazy.
One down.
I can't believe we got all 4, like all 5 of these.
I got it in the mouth.
I definitely want to get some scanners now though. Now that we kind of have the real sort of god tier damage items, I really wouldn't mind getting some scanners or some good XP items like the magnet. Some extra sort of I'm actually gonna re-roll this. Damn it. Okay, let's do the reload on that. I'm trying to get this weapon there without having to take those stupid paint jobs. I was really hoping to have a level 18 by this floor, but that didn't quite work out.
Big ticket killer. Gonna fucking die big time. One down. Die, monster.
Oh, the one weapon, we did kind of miss out on a weapon. I forgot that I did kind of want to get the boomstick just so I could get the kinetic. But I think we actually, hold up, I think we did get the kinetic tag because of this, didn't we? I think we might have.
I rarely pick one of these. One down.
Does that have a kinetic tag? No, it doesn't. How come that doesn't get a kinetic tag, but it gets an explosive? Because doesn't it do... Huh. So this now just says it releases an explosive. Releases an explosion whenever the weapon reloads. That's different. Alright. Never mind then. Guess we didn't get the kinetic tag. So with this one, the explosion used to be kinetic, but they must have changed it when they started doing all these new tag stuff.
Bring the fight.
So we do miss out on the kinetic damage tags. That's okay though, because we have projectiles. Oh, blow all those guys up. Come on. Shit. All right, I'm gonna take that reload. I really want that luck, but our luck isn't really that good right now either. You know, only 86. Usually the goal is to be around 100 by now. But it's one of those things where, you know, you're not gonna get everything. We've got really good artifacts. I think we have really good crit stats right now. We're already at 210, 546 damage.
This one makes me want to be a better dwarf.
Well done. Stage complete. Powering through. Going deeper.
All right, we're definitely gonna buy both of these. We'll buy that reload. Now, if I buy this, I can only do one reroll.
That's the one. Surely next time will be better.
All right, we'll do the piercing and the reload. I'm gonna mark the movement speed. Fine, I'll buy that one. We'll do the sawn off.
Put a bit of extra kick in it.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, miner.
At some point, once we'll kind of start hoarding a little bit, especially some of this nitra.
Big swarm detected.
Once we get, if we get pickled nitra, we'll definitely we'll start min-maxing. We'll start balancing our movement speed with it and see how much nitra we can hold. You know, so if we can hold around 100 nitra, we'll kind of keep it there for a while until we get more movement speed, and then we'll sort of slowly increase the amount of nitra we hold. I really wouldn't mind a scanner here though. A scanner or the magnet. One of those would be pretty cool. I would prefer, outside of pickle nitra, I would prefer some sort of support item. Okay. Not the one I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna take that legendary movement speed. As long as we got a scanner at some point, whatever. But I really wanted the gold. Oh, this comes to the point. Let's see if this one has. Okay, so XP scanner does not have a limit. It's a new feature. It would say down here what the limit is. You know, it would say 300 out of 1,000. But the confirmed XP scanner does not have a limit. The nitra is set at 1,000 and the gold is set at 1,500. So I guess that does give a lot of value to an XP scanner then in endless mode. If there's no limit and you can utilize it forever.
Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you.
Give me that. Boom, baby. Eat lead.
Get yourself onto that.
Okay, the only thing I'm not satisfied about this run is how far behind we are on our M-1000. I guess we only need 2 more levels, but... Alright, let's do the move speed, armor, damage.
Show me more.
There we go. Damage.
It's a little extra special. I'm a better. Nope. Try again.
Not gonna buy it.
This is gonna help me be a perfect dwarf.
Not gonna buy that either.
I want another go. I'm raring to
Buy
try
that.
this
We'll
out.
mark this. And that's it.
There's beasties to shoot and work to be
Okay,
done.
we're only 1 level away now. Love it when all the resources are right here gathered up.
Stick to the core.
There's a gold over here. We'll just go get that now.
There's a Datus here.
They still didn't give the update, didn't give us anything to spend our resources on, which I guess we kind of knew. I wish they would, but
Buggerman, get ready.
resource gathering still kind of has no point unless you're still working through the meta. But for someone like me, it's outside of obviously powering up our character, it still just sits there in my stash waiting to be spent on something.
Can't land the supply pod. Impact.
All right, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna do Thick Boy. Combines all your projectiles into 1 Thick Boy. Basically, we just do 1 bullet for tons of damage now. Let's see what our reload is on this. Reload's only 1.08 seconds. That's pretty solid. But now you can see we're gonna be doing lots and lots of damage with our crit chance and our damage multipliers with all our items. And especially if we can get pickled nitra. Okay. See, this is where we're gonna start. This is where we're gonna start playing the game. We're gonna start playing the game of how much nitra can we hold and still have really good movement speed. And I'm just gonna pick movement speed every time it shows up. And then maybe not right now, but maybe like on floor 9, we'll hold on to it so we can kill the bosses quicker. And then we'll just play around with it. But now my movement speed is still relatively decent, you know? 75% movement speed. Because that's why I've been taking movement speed on all those level ups. Taking it as much as we can. All right, so we're almost at that level of where we could potentially have the god tier. The god tier already.
Get moving. It won't hang around.
I'm actually gonna let's go with the permanent upgrade. We'll do XP gain. Normally I wouldn't have picked that, but endless mode sort of changes everything. We still have, potentially 10 more floors to play through, so that kind of stuff is now pickable. I sometimes might not take luck this late in the game. Okay, so let's buy. I'm gonna buy all that actually. We'll buy the reload.
I want another go.
Ooh, okay, let's buy. We'll buy the luck. We'll mark that.
Gonna roll the dice on this one.
I don't want to spend my nitro on this weapon. I really don't. I'd rather just keep it for the damage and because now we have both crit chance and now we have the damage. And there is no max for this. Some of these have max. Like this has max 500 stacks. So you can only get I think it's what 250. So like every 250 nitra, you're gonna max out. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of damage and crit here.
Big swarm detected. Buggerman, get ready.
Sorry. Your own fault for Waiting for the split. Die, freak!
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
Break the fight! Feels rare. Feels right. Crawl back to hell.
The more powerful we get, you know, we'll just kind of start one-shotting everything and blowing them up. We'll take the luck there, even over the movement speed.
Too much crap to send in the supply pod.
It seems like they purposely made some of these walkways like this intentionally more difficult now. Okay, I mean, at this point, I don't even know if I've used a reroll yet, have I? This is going insanely well. Let's do reload for medium. We're gonna, oh man, I need, okay, hold up. No, don't do this to me. We need to get this. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. I gotta prioritize this, and then we gotta make a break for it. Come on. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that drop. That's a reroll. Okay, we'll do. I'm gonna go with this one.
Try this out.
Gather up your beard and get onto that drop pod. It's about to leave.
Yeah, I had to go for that artifact. I can't get the boss drop though. I just,
Stage completed.
there was no way. Okay, and we got TNT. Great. That sucks. We missed out on that. But man, okay. I was not expecting us to. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that we had as much damage as we did right there.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
See, fire rate should disappear from this. I'm not sure why it's still there. Honestly,
We've got work to do and quotas to meet.
we don't have fire rate anymore. That should be gone. It's kind of lame that it still shows up. It really shouldn't.
This is gonna be a walk.
It should just be sort of reload and damage now.
Here, have a bullet in the fight.
Maybe that would make it too OP. But yeah, having fire rate on the weapon when it's no longer a fire rate weapon does kind of suck.
Ugly son of a
Swarm
bitch.
detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
Die, monsters! Epic upgrade. That's
See, again, on floor 9, I never would have picked that.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
that will teach you.
But we have an XP scanner. We did get the clipboard. That, again, that's sort of an interesting choice again, because
Swarm
usually I would have taken that 10% damage, but it's only 10% now. You know, now in the endless type of runs, that doesn't really sound that good anymore. A 10% damage boost, that's not really a lot. Oh boy, okay. We're gonna kill these guys really quickly again. This is just how these are gonna be now. We're just gonna move through these really fast. Okay, I think we'll go with another XP scanner. I think we're good on damage. I think I would rather keep the HP. You know, our damage right now is, oh my god, I only got one flower. How fast did we move through this level? I'm gonna go gold because we don't have a lot of gold. Oh my gosh. Because these are different now, you know, like I was saying, they condense the levels now, so you're kind of meant to move through them a little bit quicker because the density levels and the spawn rates are much higher. That is making some of this tough. To move through the map. It is becoming really difficult now with this weapon.
A legendary. I knew today was gonna be good. Nothing for me here. Let's try again. I rarely pick one of these.
I do want to spend some more, a little bit more nitra.
I'm gonna be the best survivor.
Okay, let's just mark those. Or just mark this one. Okay, so we're on 410.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, miner.
Oh my gosh, look how fast we are right now. Without really any nitra. Crazy amount of movement speed.
Let's get them in. This one's for Tom. Just one doctor. Kill.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'll just go with the projectile damage. That was a tough one though, because the armor, you know, the armor gives me everything. The armor gives me movement speed, it gives me armor, and then it gives me luck. So, you know, you look at an armor pick and you might not think, ah, that's not so good. But when it gives me 4% movement speed and then it gives me 3 or 4 luck, and then on top of whatever armor you're getting, the type of gear too that I think is going to be the best in these endless ones. You're going to want stuff that can scale. So another piece of our gear right here is I have crit damage. So we get crit damage for every meta resource. So you're going to kind of want these things. This one's going to give us XP every time we do a loot bug kill. You're going to want those things that keep scaling up no matter what. Like the flat amounts of damage, those aren't going to be as good anymore. I think you're going to want to look for, boy,
You don't see these every day.
I gotta go with the crit. I think you just want to look for gear that's gonna be, oh man, that's gonna have a lot of scalability into these runs. That was true for the 10 stage dives, but now it's even more true for endless.
One down. You don't see these every day.
That's a no-brainer. This has been a crazy run. I'm gonna really pray that we do not crash this game. So let me show you now what I mean. So you can see right here, you get a small chance to find gold when mining, and now it says collect it 5 of 1500. So once that gets to 1500, it's gone. It's no longer a working item anymore. So with these relic spots now, you know, that does sort of lead the question, like, okay, eventually it's going to be a dead slot, but you are going to get 1500 gold out of it. So you kind of have to think about what's worth it for you, you know? Is a relic slot worth 1500 gold to you? That's pretty much what's being like asked here. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a relic slot? Like, who knows what you're gonna get in it? You could get something bad. It could be for something bad. It could be for something good. But honestly, I think I'm still okay taking, you know, a decent amount of scanners. You know, I wouldn't mind taking like 3 or 4 most runs, because in terms of relics, I don't think there's 15 of them that are like god tier. You know, there's only maybe 5 or 6 that I want, like the majority of these runs,
My favorite type of clock.
and then the rest are kind of really just I don't care about at all. If I don't get them, fine. I don't give a shit.
What else we got?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's do the reload there, because I do want to get this guy to 18. And then that's it. We'll save our nitro. We'll save what little gold we have.
Heading deeper.
But now we're officially in endless. Stage 11. This has been going really well so far. Now we have a gold scanner. We have an XP scanner. I pretty much have all the items I want. I don't really think there's anything else. Like, I might consider energy bars, maybe.
That's the one.
But I'm also not super interested in losing my HP. Because in a 10 stage dive, again, it doesn't matter. 10 stage dive, I could do most of these runs without getting hit. You know, like with a build like this, I could clear this without getting hit. So if I had 200 health, not a huge deal. Eventually, though, we're not going to be able to one-shot the enemies all the time. Damn. Eventually, we're not going to be able to one-shot the enemies all the time, though. So we're gonna have to make that compromise. Like if I want to keep all my HP. This is crazy how quick we're moving through these floors. All right, nitro scanner. I'm gonna have to really pick up the movement speeds picks here now, though. Because now if we have a nitro scanner, that means we're gonna be seeing that. Be seeing more nitra in our arsenal, so I have to get more movement speed now. This is crazy. This is crazy how quickly we're moving through this. I can't really risk too much here. I'm not gonna risk trying to move too quickly through this because I wanna, or trying to explore too much. I'm just gonna play it a little bit safe. I pushed it last time a couple floors ago when I went for that supply drop. I really wanted to get that, but in all honesty, it would have been okay if I didn't get it. Because you're limited to 15 now, you know, there would have been another chance for it to show up.
Next! You don't see these every day. I'm raring to try this out. Gonna roll the dice on this one. Lock it in. Dibs.
Okay, we'll just get this guy. There we go. Sidearm. Ultimate sidearm. All other weapons, 60% damage. That is bonkers. That is such a good upgrade for this weapon now. For these sidearms. So these types of weapons that can get sidearm, all other weapons, 60% more damage.
This one almost makes it too easy.
I wasn't sure if we would be able to get that because I thought we might have needed, because it says it adds the sidearm tag. I was kind of thinking we might have needed 2 sidearms to be able to get that. Because none of these other ones are sidearms. So I thought we might have needed 2, but I do know that they added that. I didn't think we would see it though.
This is where the challenge becomes, well, a challenge.
But that's huge. So now all my other weapons are going to do 60% damage.
After this, I'll take the longest shower. Stick to the core and let it stink. Getting so drunk.
Okay, I 100% heard a hooly bug.
You don't see these every day.
Wipe out traps, clear out the landing zone, and triangulate your position so it can land.
Go to hell.
Supply pod off. Impact imminent.
Okay, we'll do the magnet. So the magnet will get us more XP gains, and then obviously it's a magnet. We'll be able to pick up whatever XP we're not getting throughout the level.
Swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
Okay, there's the hoarder bug. Is that what he dropped, or was that a level up? Okay, let's do the damage. See, and now before I might have picked this. Like, okay, let's take this and get it out of the pool so the good stuff will show up later. Nope. We only get 15 slots now, so we're not taking these garbage. We're not taking these garbage items anymore. It's pretty much top tier picks only. Don't hit him. Okay, he was actually shielded. I think he was shielded there. That's why he didn't pop. Because I want to clear out the rest of this level. I haven't been completing any of these quests.
I'm gonna do something epic. This.
Well done. Got them all.
One down.
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not
187 luck. We're a little low on the luck side. Okay, I think we did a good job this floor. I think we did a good job kind of clearing out the majority of everything.
I'm having an epic vision.
I completed my quest this time. I think we got all the resources.
time's ticking, miner. Move it. That's another stage completed. Heading deeper now.
Okay, let's do projectile damage.
Now we're talking. What else we got?
At this point, I kind of want to start holding a lot of my nitra.
Power up my kin courses through me. Gonna roll the dice on this one.
I'll probably just sort of buy kind of damage upgrades and stuff now.
Want another go? You don't see these every day. This will help me work harder. More options.
Yeah, I think that's it.
This is where the challenge becomes, well, a challenge.
I made the right choice. This is coming. See you in hell. Lock it in.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
I'm gonna kill you all. This one's for Carl.
Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly.
So you can already kind of see how. Ooh, thank you. That was a good one too, because that wasn't really a much of a conflict. It was just legendary movement speed. I'm taking that. Okay, we have to go. I have to start going straight for these supply drops too.
Get ready. We'll be
Once we get our max 15, then I can kind of stop getting them, because then you just start seeing gold or nitra. So I don't need to really try to get those as much. I can kind of be okay not getting them. And then we can focus on finishing the quests and mining out the rest of the levels or something.
Save for all. Bloody hell, you hot chicken. I've got it in the mouth.
So we want to make sure we're getting all the meta resources too, because again, that's, you know, each time we get those, maybe that's like 5%
Think you could kill
crit
me?
damage or 5 crit damage. Okay, let's do the reload there.
It's my lucky day.
Let's go damage.
Best. You ugly son of a bitch.
taking it deeper. Next stage coming up.
I'm gonna do something epic with this. Nothing for me here. Let's try again. More options. This one looks best. It'll do. I want another go. I'm gonna go with this. Nope. Try again.
All right, we'll buy one more.
We're going deep now, miner.
Movement speed at 224. That's only when we get off the ship.
Let's get the job done.
Is it just me, or does the terrain have... Does it feel like the terrain has more HP because... or maybe I'm just not doing... Maybe the explosions just aren't doing as much damage to the terrain
Save for all.
right now.
Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly.
Shoot it in the face. That's all you got. Just liberate.
So how many more do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we still have 2 more. In terms of what I want, I really don't know.
Swarm detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly. Prepare to
So a new thing is these shield enemies start to show up. Wait, is that an egg?
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
No, that was a hoarder bug. Holy, no, what was, oh no, those are the shield bugs.
Think you can kill me? Well, think
It
again.
looked so weird to me.
prepare to fight for your life.
It looked like it was just an egg sitting there.
I'm gonna go with this.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in record
Go
time.
get some pie.
Too much clutter for the supply pod to land. Do something.
This is the smart thing.
What's our crit stuff at now? Jeez. Okay, so we have 1,590 damage, 313 crit chance, 789 crit damage. I really don't know what we need. Like, do I take this one for the damage and reload? I don't think I re-roll because I honestly don't think there's really much more to get. You know, I could reload for scanners, but I could try to get the movement speed item because I've been saying I want to get movement speed. You know, there's a few options, but ooh, I'm just gonna take that damage.
I'll take it.
So again, look how much movement speed I have. You know, we're sitting at over 100% movement speed, and I'm sitting on 136 nitra. Back-to-back legendary damage upgrades. Love it. So this is kind of where we want it to be, you know? Okay, so let's buy this. We'll buy the XP. Okay, we do need to spend our nitra though, so I'm gonna mark this.
Let me try again. This is gonna help me be a perfect dwarf.
And I'll buy the armor, and then we can do one more reroll.
Nope. Try again.
More movement speed. Let's go. Okay, so we'll buy that, and now we're gonna get 18% movement speed in the next shop. So that means we can hold more nitra now. Oh, my mining speed sucks. I mean, I guess that. Oh my gosh, I'm moving way quicker. But we have the. Is our scan? What's our scanners doing? 349. That doesn't feel like a lot. I wonder, did they lower the rate? Because I did kind of notice that it didn't feel like we were getting a lot of gold. You know, the last floor we only had 180 something. I wonder if they lowered the rate that the gold drops. I get we're not playing, you know, one of the big heavy maps like Salt Pits where you can just get tons and tons of resources, but it does feel like we are not earning as much gold as before. Okay, we need to. Okay, so we're gonna get. How much did I say we had before? Are we waiting for one more? You know, I'm gonna take mining speed. Honestly, I can't believe the luck we had on kind of my first attempt here trying to do M-1000 build. This ended up being about as good as I would have expected it or wanted it to be. But look how much damage it takes now to kill these guys. It's a lot. Okay, I'll do the diver's manual here. I'm not going to take the pickaxe. Mainly because we already have TNT. The BLT is not horrible. But I think I would rather, this is my last item, I'm pretty sure. And there's not really much else we want. We have gold tip bullets. We have pay to win. I have both the crit items. I have the nitra powder. We have the incombobulator. I have one of each scanner, or I have a couple of XPs. We have some good XP support items. So I think we can go damage reload and then extra crit. And I think that's it now. See, so look how long it takes to kill him now, too, compared to, you know, we're not one-shotting him. We're doing a ton of damage, but we're not one-shotting him.
Objective completed. Well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you.
Think you can kill me? Well, think again.
All right, let's just go.
Well done, Miner. And you keep it going.
Okay, so we're buying both the movement speeds. We'll buy explosion radius.
Let me try again.
Buy damage.
It's for
And then I guess, no, that's not quite it. Oh boy. More crit, more HP. Let's save our Nitra.
We're going deep now, Miner.
Oh my gosh. 304 movement speed out of the out of the gate. It's almost, I'm almost too fast. I lose a lot of that movement speed after a while though. Because I get a 30% movement speed for the first 30 seconds out of the gate.
Swarm's heading your way. Load up. Can't drop supplies for you yet. Have the landing zone for impact.
I've been dreaming of something like this.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree.
See, we're not clearing this out right away. We're still doing a lot of damage, but we're not. Okay, so now this is, yeah, now this is resources. So we'll take the Nitra.
Every day.
Swarm
Think you can
detected.
kill me?
Get
Well,
ready.
think
We'll be
again.
with you shortly.
He's dead. I'm having an epic vision.
Ooh.
That's all you got. That's free shit. Die, freak. He's dead. Die, freak.
Satisfied. The drop pod is
I'm just
arriving.
gonna take, let's just take the projectile damage.
See you later. Dwarf, don't die. Come and get me, you disgusting.
Objective completed.
The stuff of legend. Die, freak.
I don't know why it's didn't even try to attempt to move through the map.
Going deeper.
Okay, we'll buy that. Buy.
With this. What else?
Oh, we can't afford that. Okay, let's buy the damage.
Something like this.
Mark
Go on and
those.
let it go.
Mark that. We'll buy one
This is a
potency.
rare treat. Let me try again.
Ooh, look at that reroll. That was a great reroll. That was a great reroll.
Miner.
This is what I wanted endless mode for. This is it, you know? We're gonna get...
Wonder what slot
We're essentially gonna end up getting over 1,000% crit damage. And look how hard it is to kill these enemies still. Holy cow.
Swarm's heading your way. Load up.
I'm not scared of you.
You know, I'm gonna do the armor.
A rare treat. Feel much better now.
Big swarm detected. Bug 'em and get ready.
Suck on this, you freak of nature.
Oh, okay. So the exploders do about 250, which actually is a little bit lower than I kind of thought they would be.
Big swarm detected. Bug 'em and get ready.
At this point, we can sit on a lot of Nitra.
Incoming.
We have a look at. I have 160 Nitra right now. Still have 175 movement speed.
Give it to me.
I don't think we spend. I don't think we do really any upgrades anymore.
Well done. You got them all.
Hello. And good.
Okay, so again, not a huge deal if we don't get this because now it is just resources. I mean, we will get more Nitra, which will be nice.
Quota satisfied.
All right, we'll take the legendary Nitra.
Get moving. It won't hang around.
Let's go with the gold.
It's my lucky day. I'm gonna kill you all. Break the pie. Let's show them some pie.
Gather up your beard and get onto that drop pod is about to leave. Scratch 1, moving on.
Okay, floor 17. Let's buy that. Buy. We'll buy both of these.
More options.
I'll buy the armor.
Nope. Try again.
Okay, we'll buy that damage, crit. We'll buy some potency.
Let's shake it up.
Buy the damage.
Next.
We'll buy one reload and that's it.
We're going deep now, miner.
It's so hard not to spend my nitra. I see the good stuff in the shop and I want to get it. Let's check where our scanners are at. So gold's at 560, nitra seed. There's so much more we can get with these still. It definitely feels that the rates have maybe lowered a little bit.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
Because especially with TNT, if we didn't have TNT, then, you know, my God, maybe I could see us not having that much, but I don't know. I feel like we would have broke the gold scanner by now. Maybe not.
Lock up and get ready.
Think you could kill me? Well, think again.
Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching. Supplies ready. Clean up the LZ.
So again, not super imperative that we get it, but we're gonna try because
Swarm is approaching.
it's right here, and one we can still get like 45 nitra if we get a good one.
Feels rare. Feels right.
Okay, just 20 nitra. Okay, that guy hit me for 300 something damage.
Here, have a bullet in the butt. Dimmity dip. Red sugar. What's on it?
Oh, we still got the legendary there, huh?
Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived. Get there now. It will leave without you.
It's calling to me.
Diving deeper. Next stage coming up.
Bingo! You don't see the... Let me try again. I rarely go for this one. More options.
I think I might
This one makes me want to be a... I'm feeling lucky.
kind of, again, I think I might kind of start hoarding, other than like some of these few upgrades,
What else we got? I rarely pick one of these.
as I buy a shit ton of stuff. Okay, we'll buy one reload.
Yeah, now we're talking.
This is where the challenge becomes, well, a challenge.
I keep saying I'm gonna hoard, and then I spend.
The swarm is heading your way. Load up. Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
Look at how many large swarms there are. Oh man, I wish I wish we could look. I wish it didn't get rid of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 large swarms of enemies. Is that what I'm seeing now?
Supply pod LZ is full of crap. We need to clear it out. The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm. The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Don't die today. I want it.
Oh boy.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with
Wow,
you.
see? We're getting trapped already.
Think you can kill me? Think again.
Let's go damage.
It's my lucky day.
Okay, I think we're gonna hoard now. I think we're gonna hoard. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything.
Bring it. Stupids. This is gonna help me be a perfect war.
Tasks complete. Stage finished. The drop pod is prepped and ready. Get on it before it leaves.
Here, have
I think we'll do, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a couple rerolls just to get our pay to win going, and then to see if any of the crit damage shows up. But that's it. Because this is now the last floor too.
This is gonna help. Surely next time we'll be better.
Crit.
That's the upgrade I was looking for. I want another go.
Movement speed.
Show me more.
Do one more reroll. All right, so
I'm raring
that's
to
it.
try this out.
Impressive effort so far, Miner.
So now we end up 2,700 damage, 480 crit chance, 1,100 crit damage. And we're still not even, we're still kind of not one-shotting everything. That's how strong these enemies are right now. L to the yes.
That will kick them. Let's show them some pie.
Alright, I guess I don't really need to wait. Look how many eggs there are, holy cow. I guess we don't really need to wait for the supply drop either. My goodness. Look how much damage we have, and we're still not... I mean, we're doing a good job. We're doing a good job, but we're not decimating anymore. But again, this is why I think having CC is pretty nice. Okay, 3,400 damage. 316 nitra. Let's go with gold that time. Crazy. Crazy how much HP these guys get. So part of me thinks, based on what we're doing right here, part of me thinks that we're probably going to be looking at 18 to 20 stage dives for the majority of these runs. I can't imagine too many builds being, you know, ultra powerful compared to this one. I mean, we have CC, we have insane damage, we basically got the god tier of crit stuff. So I'm curious to see what the limit is going to be for some of these other builds then that don't have this kind of damage, because look how long it takes to kill these guys. If you don't have a build with CC and you don't have this much damage, are you going to be able to make it this far? Okay, well that's 20. That's 2 full clears. I do need to spend some money here though, because we are starting to get a little too slow.
It'll do. More options. This works. Let me try again. Gotta have that legendary. Woo, baby.
Okay, that works out.
Impressive work, Miner. Can you take it even further?
There's Moitra over here.
This is probably about where I would want the majority of these runs to end to. This is a personal thing, but I personally don't want to do 2.5 hour runs. That's not really fun to me. It gets too grindy. You know, once you do it a couple times, then I lose a lot of interest in doing them again. That's kind of yet another zombie survivor kind of did that. You know, at some points in that game, you were doing 2-hour runs, and honestly, it does kind of burn me out sometimes. I think if we could get most of these runs to around 15 to 20, I feel like that's kind of the ideal spot. You know, a good, okay build can get you to 15, 18. a really great build can get you to 20, and then a god tier build gets you to mid 20s, 30s. What's interesting is the elites. No, okay, I was about to say it feels like it was almost easier to kill the elites, but maybe not. Yeah, but what are you doing here if you don't have CC? Like, look at our damage, 2,800, 500 crit chance, 1,200 crit damage. If you don't have CC and you're not able to kill these guys fast enough, what are you doing? Like, how are you surviving?
What else we got? We not gonna roll the dice on this one. I'm growing. Show me more. Not too
Oh, I didn't mean to buy that one. Dang it.
What else?
Okay, we will buy that. Let's do one more reroll.
You've lasted longer than most would, Miner.
Okay, 422. Everything's just a large swarm now, too. Wow, that hurt.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
I'm raring to try this out. Oh
I
yeah.
always keep thinking that's gonna be that's a hoarder bug, but it's not. They look very, very similar. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this it? Oh, that was it. Oh man, I got trapped and didn't get out. I might have tried to have been a little bit more patient there, but I thought we could get out freezing them. Oh, what was that? 22? That's pretty good. Wow. I think, yeah, we got caught there. I got caught. Even with all that HP, I still couldn't get out of that. Dang. That was cool. That was a very cool run, though. Oh my gosh. How is that even... How is that... That damage is insane. How did this one do the most damage? Oh my goodness. This level 26 cryo, I guess because there's so many enemies on screen, it's hitting everything. Wow. No damage here. That's, man, that's thousands. Holy cow. Just 48 billion damage on the cryo grenade. And then 42 billion for a total of 130 billion damage. We ended up with 3,300 damage, 514 crit chance, 1235 crit damage. I definitely misplayed that a little bit. I think what I'm gonna have to adjust to now is in these later stages, like 22, I think I'm gonna have to not play for resources. I think I'm just gonna have to play to survive and not try to mine out the map. Because I think if I were to just play in a safe, like, circular pattern, I probably would have been able to survive. But since you know, it's just habit of running around, trying to mine out the map, get all the resources. At some point when you get this far in the game, you probably don't want to do that anymore. Because I do think, I think I was better off. Because I got trapped in the wall. You know, I got trapped in the wall, I got surrounded, I had no way out. I can't put myself in that sort of situation in this, once we get to like these floor 20s. You know, I can't put myself against the wall anymore. Because there's not going to be a way out. I should stick in the middle and just sort of do circular rotations. I had my TNT that would clear out everything, and then we make sure we have a wide area to just play in. So that's going to have to be an adjustment here. So that's a lesson learned. Look at that, we survived 54. That's the time we spent. That was good, and that was a decent run. You know, that took about, this is an hour-and-a-half video, so that's kind of exactly where I want to be with these. I was really worried endless mode would get us to like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But I think if this is kind of the stopping point, you know, somewhere in the mid-20s, that seems pretty fair. And like I said, you know, the really, really good builds will get you in the 20s. A decent build probably gets you about to 18 to 20. But I couldn't imagine a mid-tier build getting this far. So with the amount of damage we had, it was so hard to kill those guys. Even with one of the strongest weapons in the game, great CC, and then just 3,300 damage, 514 crit, 1235 crit damage. Crazy. All right. Well, there we go. I'm looking forward to doing this with more runs to see if we can do anything that can top this. I honestly think it's going to be kind of tough. There's probably a few builds that can maybe kind of get there, but we can't do explosives yet because of the lag, the frame drops it does. So we're going to have to hold out on that a bit. But I think what we'll maybe do is we'll probably do some runs that might not be as strong, but we'll kind of try to focus on some of the new weapons and see what we can build with those. Because we'll have plenty of time to go in and do all the other old builds again. But yeah, so there we go. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.